Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to Cal Poly's Commencement. Welcome to Cal Poly's Fall Commencement Ceremony for the College of Liberal Arts and the Orfalea College of Business. My name is Keith Humphrey, and I am Vice President for Student Affairs here at Cal Poly, and it is my privilege to preside over today's joyous ceremony with you. At this time, it is my distinct honor to present Dr. Thomas Davies, who will lead Cal Poly's early music ensemble in the singing of our national anthem. ROTC cadets of Cal Poly's Military Science Department, led by Cadet Battalion Kyle Haddock, under the direction of Lieutenant Colonel Josh Gillen, will present the colors. Please rise and remain standing. And gentlemen, please remove your caps until the color guard has exited the arena. Please present the colors.
Stripes and Christ stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Please be seated. We have so many reasons to be Cal Poly proud today. As a university, we are conferring more than 900 degrees upon deserving scholars. Each of our students has worked very hard, and encouraging them at every step of the way has been our talented and dedicated faculty and staff, as well as the many parents, brothers, sisters, other family members, friends, and supporters. Graduates, from wow to now, we have... They didn't laugh at that. Okay, every other class has laughed at that. We're going to try this again. Graduates, from wow to now. Thank you. Thank you very much. We have all invested a great deal in your success. Our hope is that the principles of the Mustang Way, pride, responsibility, and character, have created a foundation upon which you will thrive and inspire others. You are expected to enter the world poised to make a difference in your professions and through service to your communities. During your time in San Luis Obispo, you have improved this community, and we are confident about the contributions you will make to improving our world. Yeah, we can applaud for that. Already, one of our graduates has prepared to serve in the most unselfish way of all and will be commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Army today. We cannot thank that graduate enough for their willingness to serve our country, and we are indebted to all who have served in our military. I ask that all active duty servicemen and women and veterans in attendance please stand to be recognized for your service to our country. Following traditions begun in the great universities of medieval times, we are assembled to welcome these graduates into the company of educated individuals. It is a time when we can share in their pride and look with them towards the future. Joining me on stage today is our president, Jeffrey D. Armstrong. Joining President Armstrong are many members of the Platform Party. Special guests and individuals invited to address the graduates will be introduced later in the program. Other members of the President's Party with us today are Cindy Vizcaíno Villa, Senior Vice President for Administration and Finance, Dr. Gary Laver, Chair of the Academic Senate, Dawn Theodora, University Legal Counsel, Dr. Mary Pedersen, Vice Provost for Academic Programs and Planning, Bill Britton, Visiting Interim Chief Information Officer, Dr. John Thompson, Department Chair in the College of Liberal Arts, and Dr. Patricia McQuaid, Professor in the Orfalea College of Business, and Dr. Andrew Schaffner, Grand Marshal. One of the great honors that I have in my work as Vice President for Student Affairs is that I get to work closely with each student body president. Each ASI president is unique in how they want to improve the... Oh, hi. Each ASI president is unique in how they want to improve the Cal Poly student experience, but they all share a common love for their fellow Mustangs. Owen Schwegerle is no different. He is working hard to improve the quality of life for all Cal Poly students, and he cares deeply about each student on campus. Owen is friendly and approachable. Yeah, we can applaud for Owen for that. Owen is friendly and approachable and thoughtful in his leadership, and anyone that has met him instantly experiences his warmth. And now you are about to experience that warmth as well. Please welcome your student body president, Owen Schwegerle.
Thank you, Dr. Humphrey, for those very kind words. Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor to be here, and we are all here today to celebrate each and every one of you that is sitting here that has worked so hard to make it to this moment. So congratulations, each and every one of you. All of those long nights staying awake, doing homework and writing papers, all of those group projects where you had that person who didn't pull their weight or show up, and all of those swarms of midterms, it's all finally paid off, and you made it. Congratulations. Your hard work and commitment will not only benefit you, it will also benefit your family 7 generations down the line. And so, you have left a legacy, and you have become an inspiration for your family and for everyone who knows you. Yeah. Oftentimes, the most important thing we learn in college is not learned in the classroom. It's something we learn through our experiences, through our late night conversations, through our trips downtown into Taco Bell. Right now, I want you to think about your last few years in college. Remember when you first got here and all the thoughts you had, the worries you had, and now you're here. You made it to this moment. Since you've come here, we've seen Baker Science be constructed, hydration stations installed across campus, and the bike lanes turn green. Cal Poly's changed a lot. But even more importantly, you have changed. Think about when you first got here, all the beliefs, the things you thought you knew about the world, and think about how so much of that has changed. What was the first thing you got involved with when you got on this campus? What club or organization activity were you a part of? Each of those activities helps shape your college experience, but that alone does not make your college experience. The people did. Who are the people that you became friends with? Who inspired you to join a club, to get involved in your major? Look around you right now. You'll see people that were in your classes or that you lived with in the residence halls. You'll see people that made a difference with you. It was the relationships you built while you were here that kept you anchored during your time at Cal Poly. And today marks a day when you are closing the chapter of college and opening it to a new unknown page in your life. There's one piece of advice I really want to leave with you, and that's if you pursue your passion, you will find your purpose. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines passion as a strong feeling or enthusiasm or excitement for something or about something. What are you passionate about? Is it economics, education, people? Passion is the thing that drives you. It's the reason you get up in the morning. I believe each and every one of you has a purpose on this earth, and that purpose is different than the person sitting next to you. Your gifts, background, and skill set are finely tuned to fulfilling your destiny. There is only one you in all the earth, so don't let other people hold you back from pursuing that passion that you have. Whatever it is, find meaning in the work that you do. And in closing today, just remember those three things about college. It was the people you met here that made it what it was. It's the passion that you found that you want to continue to pursue when you graduate and go into the world, to find that purpose so that you can make a difference. You've all made it. Make sure to thank the people out in the audience, your friends, family, people that encourage you. And congratulations once again to the Cal Poly Fall Class of 2015.
Thank you very much, Owen. Many of the proud supporters in our audience today have a familiar and exceptional sense of pride today. Today marks an extraordinary day for the families of Cal Poly graduates who have chosen to continue their Mustang legacy. Many of you in the audience are Cal Poly proud alumni, and you may remember with vivid clarity the sense of pride and excitement that you felt when you graduated from Cal Poly. At this time, I would like to welcome anyone in the audience, the proud families, supporters, and friends and parents who are Cal Poly proud alumni. Please stand and be recognized. Welcome home, welcome home. And remember, you are always part of our Mustang family. And now to welcome these graduates into the community of Cal Poly alumni, please join me in welcoming our Alumni Association President, Kirsty McPherson-Boyette.
Thank you, Dr. Humphrey. Distinguished faculty, staff, family, friends, and especially the Cal Poly class of 2015. On behalf of the Cal Poly Alumni Association It is my honor to congratulate you and welcome you to the 175,000 member strong community of Cal Poly Proud alumni. As I stand before you today, as a fellow graduate, I can feel your Cal Poly pride. It is written on your faces and of those of the family and friends that are here to support you today. Cal Poly Proud is a priceless byproduct of learn by doing. It is what sets us apart from our peers, it fuels our future, and it opens doors. It's what inspires us to make great things possible, and it lives on outside these walls, beyond this place, and throughout the world. Your Alumni Association will keep you linked to one another and encourage you to connect with Cal Poly alumni wherever life takes you. Mustangs are your mentors, your coworkers, and family for life. Graduates, as you cross the platform and are recognized today, it will be my distinct pleasure to present each of you with the Cal Poly Proud pin as a symbol of belonging to Cal Poly for life. Please hold the pin till the end of the ceremony when President Armstrong will lead an alumni pinning ceremony. Thank you, and again, congratulations.
Thank you, Kirsty. At this time, I would like to introduce the Associate Dean of the Orfalea College of Business, Dr. Kevin Lertwachara.
Good afternoon. At this time, I would like to introduce our faculty speaker today. I would like to introduce Menga Sethi. Menga is an accomplished consultant in the field of real estate, development, and finance. Menga has managed mixed-use residential and large office development projects involving complex entitlement processes and the use of tax credit equity. Menga is a faculty member in the Orfalea College of Business, where she teaches real estate finance. She is a graduate of Carnegie Mellon University and Columbia University, from which she holds a bachelor's degree in architecture and Master of Business Administration. Menga is also a licensed architect and former board member of the Multiple Sclerosis Society of King County. Please welcome Menga Sethi.
Congratulations, fall class of 2015. I'm honored to speak to you today. I'd like to start by telling you a story of a man who came to this country in 1967 with $4 in his pocket and just the hope of a better life, my father. As a man with dark skin, he faced a multitude of challenges in the pre-civil rights era. The only hospitals that would hire him were the Jewish hospitals, and eventually he went on to become one of the first cardiologists in the nation to perform the angioplasty procedure. He refinanced our house 3 times to send my brother and sister and I through the Ivy Leagues, and he maintained a beautiful marriage with my mother until the day she passed away. My father never wavered in his determination. He held his head high when wronged, and he worked tirelessly, even when weary. He lived and still lived by 2 principles that I would like to pass along to you today in the few minutes that we have together. 2 things that will carry you far beyond the reach of this great Cal Poly community. They are grit and integrity. Noble challenges confront you today. They confront all of us. Climate change, income disparity, debt burdens, global violence, and more, and none of us are immune. And yet, as I look at you today, I am hopeful that we will find solutions that will make our world a better place. Solutions that will test your persistence, your integrity, and your capacity. Solutions that will require unwavering faith in yourselves, in your family, in those around you. And I am here to remind you today, when faced with these challenges, to go back to the basics and remember where you came from, Cal Poly, where you spent these formative years of your life, what you learned, leadership, management, finance, economics, working together, writing, communicating, speaking, putting ideas into action the Cal Poly way, the fundamentals, grit and integrity. What is grit? Grit is having the courage and the resolve and the strength of character to conquer life's most difficult challenges. As you face uncertainty and doubt in conquering tough problems, go back to what you have learned not only inside the classroom, but what you have learned outside the classroom. Remember the sleepless nights completing your final projects, the determination in studying for exams that you know will tip your GPA up or down, the discord you worked through with a friend or fellow student, and draw upon what you have learned from your families, your fellow graduates, and the Cal Poly community of staff and professors who have worked tirelessly so that you may face this moment with confidence. Know that no matter what situation you encounter, no matter what setbacks you endure, that you will have the unrelenting determination necessary to carry you through. Integrity. Integrity is having the will to pursue solutions with strong moral uprightness. Remember raising your hand in class to ask that question that no one else dared voice. Remember asking a newcomer to join your project group. Do not be afraid to speak when others will not. Do not be afraid to lead when others will not. Do not compromise your values, because a solution founded upon deceit is no solution at all. A solution founded upon the burdens of others is no solution at all. Stay true to yourself, to your families, and your work, and you will not fail. Back to our problems at hand. Gun violence on campus. Dear friends of mine returned from their Thanksgiving break to find their daughter's campus, University of Chicago, closed. Climate change. We have warming sea temperatures, persistent algae blooms, and our neighbors in Morro Bay have lost their livelihood because of the closure of crab season. Increasing debt burdens. A recent hire at my firm cannot afford to buy a house because he and his wife have a mountain of student loan debt. We are counting on you to make a difference, to find solutions in all your endeavors, big and small. Persevere when hope is lost. Work harder when you tire. Rely on your grit. Do not waver in your righteousness, and maintain your integrity. And like the story of my father coming to this country, with your grit, with your integrity, with what you take from this great Cal Poly community, you will not fail. Thank you.
Thank you, Menka. Now, please join me in welcoming Dr. Doug Epperson, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts, who will introduce our keynote speaker.
Professor Sethi, thank you for your encouraging and challenging comments. And graduates, good afternoon and congratulations. Yeah, you can applaud yourself. Always creative and entrepreneurial, Bruce Floor leveraged a degree in journalism and experience running KCPR into a career in music promotion, marketing, and management. After about 17 years with RCA, where he signed bands of the level of Dave Matthews Band and Foo Fighters, Bruce joined Corin Capshaw and Dave Matthews in launching Red Light Management and ATO Records, where he is Executive Vice President and Chief Strategy Officer. Bruce has been directly involved in the careers of Red Light Management and ATO clients, such as the Dave Matthews Band, My Morning Jacket, Alabama Shakes, the band Perry, Miley Cyrus, Keke Palmer, Switchfoot, OAR, Grace Potter, and the list goes on. More recently, Floor and Capshaw co-founded the music media company Greenlight, whose mission is to put together an experience that creates a connection between music and brand. Their clients are major corporations such as American Express, Under Armour, and Hyundai, And what they have done is built exclusive music-driven campaigns for these companies. Bruce recently responded to a call for assistance by playing a leadership role in constructing a blue ribbon panel of radio experts to review and generate possible futures for KCPR at Cal Poly. Thanks to their recommendations, KCPR is now more integrated into the educational mission of the Department of Journalism while maintaining its student-run independent identity. In this 100th year anniversary of Mustang News, it's my pleasure to introduce journalism graduate Bruce Flohr as our outside speaker.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Mr. President. I must admit, I'm a little off my game today. Well, I'll tell you what. I got to get this off my chest. Well, one of the things that drives me crazy, one of the pet peeves that I have, is lack of communication. And when the dean asked me to speak today, my first thought was, well, first of all, who canceled? And the second thing I thought is, well, I got to get a suit, right? I got to look sharp. So I went out, I dropped some serious coin on a suit. An hour ago, I show up at Sage, and they hand me this car cover to put on. So let's just get this straight. Next year, when you have me back, can we open up the lines of communication a little better? Save Bruce a little money. When you're asked to be given a commencement speech, the first thing you do is, what am I going to say? So you Google and you research and you see what all the great commencement speeches are. And then I started to think, well, wait a minute. I graduated in December and I sat where you sat. And what did the person that gave my commencement speech say? And who gave my commencement speech? And I realized I had no clue who gave my commencement speech, nor what did they say. So the pressure is completely off, because no matter what I do, you're not going to remember anything. Okay, now real quick, do you have a phone? Do you have a phone on you? Do any of you have a phone? Somebody time me. They want this to happen in 7 minutes. I think I got it down to about 8. But you know what? I bought a suit, so sue me. I'll tell you a really quick story that made me think about it as I drove by my old house on Hathaway. When I was, oh, you guys remember it? You know it. Yeah, 8 guys in a 2-bedroom, genius. I was going to graduate, like you are, in December, and fortunately for me, KCPR provided me a platform where I was able to network in the business. And around September of that year, I received a phone call from RCA Records, and they asked me to come down to Los Angeles and interview for a position. So I drove down to LA, and I met them at this bar called the Cat and Fiddle, which is a famous bar on Sunset Boulevard. And these 2 executives sat down and proceeded to order drinks, and we talked for 3 hours. And they asked me about my passions and what I wanted to do, and this, that, and the other thing. And around 6 o'clock, they got up and said, okay, kid, we'll call you, maybe. So I sat there, got up and walked over to the nearest payphone, which was a phone that was inside of a wall and you put money in it. And I called my dad. Hello? That's my dad. Hey, Dad, it's Bruce. Hey, how'd the interview go? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I think I'm drunk. Can you come pick me up? 2 weeks later, while I'm here at Cal Poly, I get a phone call, and RCA Records offers me a position. And thank you. And I debated. I really struggled. I wanted to take the job, but I was 10 weeks away from graduating, and I thought, well, maybe I need to get the degree. So I called them back, and I said, I respectfully decline. I need to finish my college career. And RCA said, oh, that's fine. We'll hire you now, put you on salary, give you an expense account, and a car allowance, which is an allowance for your car. So imagine my last 10 weeks of college with a salary, an expense account, and a car allowance. The parties that we threw on Hathaway, I'm just saying, many of these folks were there. There's a Halloween party that is so awesome. We decorated the entire inside of the house like the inside of a pumpkin. And it took so long for the cops to break it up because we were convinced the cops were actually our friends dressed as cops for Halloween. I soon realized that wasn't the case when I was in the back of a real police car with real handcuffs on. Good times. I'm going to drop 2 pieces of knowledge on you today, which you won't remember. One is when people come work for me, one of the things I try to tell them is the answer to every question is yes. Not, I don't know, not, it's not my job, or I don't have time. It's just yes. It's just yes. And if you can start your career or whatever path you're on to with that attitude, you'll do fine. Because most people, they don't want to take chances and they don't want to lead. So I would send you out there with the answer is yes. The other thing I want to talk to you about is gratitude. Indulge me for a second. Close your eyes. Think about 5 people that are partly responsible for you sitting where you are today. A mom, a dad, brother, sister, a faculty member. Maybe it's that person senior year of high school who said, hey, you know what? You should apply to Cal Poly. In the next 24, 48 hours, pick up the phone, shoot them a note, and just say thank you. Gratitude. It's very important. The last thing I'll say is one of my regrets is, well, I have many regrets, trust me. One of my regrets is when I graduated from here, I bolted. I took off. It was like I just wanted to go start my career. And it took me a long time to come back to Cal Poly and reconnect and come back to San Luis Obispo. I've been fortunate enough to travel all around the world, and I've been to a lot of universities. There's something special about this place, about the town, and about the school. And I would encourage you every year, once a year, come back, say hello, hang out downtown, but don't let San Luis Obispo not be part of your life for the rest of your life. Excuse me a second. I kind of feel like Britney Spears with this thing on. It's really just in conclusion, I just want to say congratulations, you've made it. Some of you by the skin of your teeth, I'm sure. Go Mustangs. And the last thing I'll tell you is drinks are on them. Thank you.
Wow, there's a lot of places I could go after that. But I think where we're going to go instead is to say thank you, Bruce, for those very wise words. And to introduce the Cal Poly Early Music Ensemble for their performance of Irish Blessing, arranged by Graham Lungager.
Sun
Thank you, Dr. Davies and the Early Music Ensemble, for lending your gifts to our ceremony today. One more round of applause for our talented students, please. Now, please join me in welcoming Cal Poly's Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost, Dr. Kathleen Enns Finken.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Humphrey. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to confer the degrees earned by our candidates for graduation. Among the candidates for degrees are those who are graduating with honors. These graduates are noted in the commencement program and will be recognized individually on the stage. Master's degree candidates that have met the highest level of achievement are designated as graduating with academic excellence and are wearing golden cords. Bachelor's degree candidates graduating with GPAs of 3.5 and above are designated as cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude. These candidates are also noted in the program and will be recognized as they cross the stage. President Armstrong, we will begin the presentation of candidates, and I am pleased to introduce Dr. Richard Savage, Director of Graduate Education, who will present the master's degree candidates.
Good afternoon. Throughout today, yeah, it is a good afternoon, right? Beautiful weather. Throughout today, we're going to be granting over 100 master's degrees to students who have taken that next step in their academic career. And we're proud to call them Cal Poly graduates, and we hope they will go out and make a difference in the world. So faculty representing the master's degree programs, please stand to be recognized and remain standing. Master's degree candidates, please stand and remain standing. President Armstrong, on behalf of our graduate program's faculty, I am honored to present these candidates.
Master's degree candidates, on the recommendation of the faculty of California Polytechnic State University and by the authority vested in me by the trustees of the California State University, I now confer upon each of you the master's degree appropriate to your program with all attendant rights, responsibilities, and distinctions. Congratulations.
Faculty, you may be seated. Master's degree candidates, please follow Marshall Sweat to the right of the stage. And as your name is read, proceed across the platform where you will receive the master's hood appropriate to your degree by Provost Enns Finken.
Matthew Clark. Charlotte Zapula. Udi Hendler. Melissa Camp. Christina Azrui. Laura Leahy. Susie Bautista. Daniela Denise Esparza. Jennifer Dawn Archambault. Amy Georgia Carlisle. Julianne Mendoza Alvarado. Lindsay Valentina Bateman. Samantha Fraser. Catherine Beglin. Tyler Silvas. Congratulations, master's degree candidates. Please be seated.
Congratulations to master's degree candidates. President Armstrong, I call forward Dr. Douglas Epperson, the Dean of the College of Liberal Arts.
Faculty representing the College of Liberal Arts, please stand and be recognized and remain standing. Bachelor's degree candidates from the College of Liberal Arts, please stand and remain standing. President Armstrong, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Liberal Arts, I'm honored to present these candidates.
Bachelor's degree candidates on the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Liberal Arts and by the authority vested in me by the trustees of the California State University, I now confer upon each of you the bachelor's degree appropriate to your program with all attendant rights, responsibilities, and distinctions. Congratulations.
Faculty, you may be seated. Graduates of the College of Liberal Arts, please follow Marshal Penny Bennett and Assistant Marshal Michael Latner to the right of the stage. As your name is read, proceed across the platform to be recognized.
Melissa Mateka, cum laude. Mary U. Koko. Shelley Ray Cohn. Caitlin Smith. Devin Gould. Aaron Keating. Chelsea Marie Perkins. Brene Marilyn English. Ryan Andrake Manning. Devin Marie McQuaid. Victoria Ellen Burke. Danielle Friedrich, summa cum laude. Aaron Reynolds. Andrew Newman. Sarah Peterson. Corey Lee Spain. Johnny Lay Lewis. Michaela Caliero. Luke Tyree. Matthew McKenzie. Michael Vargas. Lauren Cool. Patrick Stevens. Lauren Vukisevich. Victoria Atia. Taz Doherty. Mason Beck. Jose Sarate. Nicole Moore. Bailey Hamblin. Kristen Kumagai. Monique Martinez. Kirsten Birkland. Sarah Lancaster, cum laude. Joseph Leonardi Mangiardi III. Buki Ibipo Bapalola. Genevieve Emberton. Rebecca Nuilache. Natalie Belton. Kimberly Ader, summa cum laude. Megan Legg. Emily Ardelian. Carol Wang. Naoto Sekiguchi with honors. Emily Engelsgaard. Mindy Auten. Maxwell Davis. Michael Panomarov, cum laude. Hannah Rose Wurzberger, cum laude. Isabella Rose Lazareski. Evan Falkenthal. Esperanza Ray Mancera. Wilkinson, excuse me. Jessica Ann Todd. Ryan Anderson, summa cum laude. L. Rachel Harris. Grace Papas, summa cum laude. Lindsay Hightower, magna cum laude. Adriana Catanzare. Allison Carmen Rojas Kirby. Austin McLagan. Melanie Rebecca Ingram. Miss Kay Lynn Richardson. Nicole Gray Bodwin, magna cum laude. Michael Bolden. Cameron Inglis. Ingalls, excuse me. Kyle Palazzolo. Catherine Clough. Emily Rose McDonald, cum laude. Matt Cachadorian. Madeline Aitchison. Sophia Vu. Juliet Saunders. Bethany Douglas. Taylor Trimble. Rebecca Heilbrunn. Christy Beamer. Kayla Rose Steinorth. Brittany Marie Spinks, cum laude. Parker Scanlon, cum laude. Corinne Leanne Wolf. Wesley J. Choi. Congratulations, graduates of the College of Liberal Arts. Please be seated.
Congratulations, graduates. President Armstrong, I call forward Dr. Kevin Lurtwachara, Associate Dean of the Orfalea College of Business.
Okay, once again, congratulations. At this time, I would like to ask the faculty from the Orfalea College of Business to please stand to be recognized and stay standing. Bachelor's degree candidates from the Orfalea College of Business. Now is your moment. Please stand and remain standing. President Armstrong, on behalf of the faculty of the Orfalea College of Business, I'm proud to present these candidates.
Bachelor's degree candidates, on the recommendation of the faculty of the Orfalea College of Business and by the authority vested in me by the trustees of the California State University, I now confer upon each of you the bachelor's degree appropriate to your program with all attendant rights, responsibilities, and distinctions. Congratulations.
Okay. Faculty, you may be seated. Graduates of the Orfalea College of Business, please follow Marshal Sanjeev Jakia and Assistant Marshal Bina Kurana to the right of the stage. And as your name is read, proceed across the platform to be recognized.
Kevin Voigt. Rachel Prim. Iris Carotret. Emily Remar. Nicole Ludwig. Samuel Payer. Andrew Knopf. Jordan Dominguez. Carrie Duarte. Diego Caraval. Sarah Lawler. Brandon Scott. Dennis Fennessy. Wilson Packard, summa cum laude. Nicholas Kawatli. Michael John Renart. Lauren Mosier. Nick Abatelli. Nacho Montez. Jamal Shaheen. Kyle Zotnek. Eric Findley. Tom Hickle. Rocky Mezaraz. Wes Zimmerman. Steve Ryan. Brandon Tom. Lauren Aviles. Jennifer Jessica. Omar Garcia Gomez. Annie Gracie. Kevin Crandall. Owen Scott Seabow, cum laude. Connor Claude. Logan Mays. Stephen Pyle. Colin Blair, magna cum laude. Fernando Cabico. Kevin Wu. Reed Yardley. Brian Carnahan. Joanna Vong. Justin Daniel Kwok. And Deanna Andriha Tang. Nikki Kong, cum laude. Sean Kerr with honors in economics. Patrick Slavihi. Ryan Bouchon. James Salazar. Garen McKay. Christopher Padilla. Luis Pelayo. Kaylee Epperson. Stephanie Michelle Brandt. Jose Palo Delta Cruz. Richard McWilliams. James Robert Cabreros. Olivia Salvatore King. Eric Bruner. Gary Goebel. Nicholas Lynch. Anthony Cometa. Melissa Zhu. Lauren Judson. Julissa Aguilar. Derek Alexander Chang, cum laude. Yongjin Park. Brian Fiorentino. Dakota L. Wells. Kevin Edward Glass. Bryce Evans. Brandon Anthony Carter. Michael Roger Mislowski. Joey Dodds. Jack Mullen. Austin Turner. Derek Rieger. Congratulations, graduates of the Orfalea College of Business. Please all be seated.
Well, before I make some concluding remarks, I know some of you wanted a selfie, so Owen, help me out here. Graduates, congratulations, you did it. Think back for a minute, as Owen asked you to earlier. Think back about that first time on campus. Parents, friends, hot, tired, moving in boxes. You remember those days? Did you ever think about today? Remember that person when you met them and you said, did we just become best friends? Do you remember that? Did you imagine this day coming? Well, students, graduates, I should say, you didn't do it alone. You didn't do it alone. The journey is not alone. So at the beginning of my brief comments, I want you to join me and recognize and pay gratitude to some people that are here. First, we must recognize the faculty and staff who make up Cal Poly and make Learn by Doing work and make Cal Poly real. They've worked hard to teach you, to feed you, to support you, to protect you, and inspire you. They've dedicated their professional lives to your success. Will all of our faculty and staff in attendance please stand if you can or wave? Graduates and everyone else, join me in recognizing these outstanding faculty and staff, these professionals. Thank you. Be seated. There's another group that's been along with you on this journey much longer than our faculty and staff. Here with you today are your strongest supporters. The people that have given you their boundless love, encouragement, and yes, financial support. So graduates, please join these family members, parents, loved ones, partners and spouses who are part of this journey and who stand to be congratulated today. Would you all please stand or wave? And graduates, faculty, and staff, let's congratulate them. We say thank you, we applaud you, and you as well as the graduates are part of the Cal Poly family, and we want you to come home often. I think as Bruce said, at least once a year. So graduates, in a functional way, today is an end. You went to class, you passed all the exams, right? Oh no, not all the grades are posted, we got that. You're going to load up suitcases, you're going to drive away, you're going to move out. Move on. Oh, move out. I think the people on the right and the left, they emphasize the move out part, right? But we all know that today is just the beginning. What adventures and what successes await you. We have high expectations of you. And I know that might induce a bit of anxiety. But you know what? You're ready. You're prepared for what life will bring. Things won't always go your way. Life will surely not always be fair to you. And you will make mistakes. But you're ready for that. That's not failure. It's called experience. It's called Learn by Doing. And as a Mustang, you know how to learn from experience. You're ready. So I have a promise that I want to make to you, and in return, I want you to make a promise to me and everyone else here. I promise to continue to do everything I can to make Cal Poly better and better. We'll continue to enhance student, faculty, and staff success. We will continue to improve and enhance diversity, climate, and inclusivity on our campus for each and every Mustang here today and who will follow in your footsteps. And we are going to ensure Cal Poly's financial future. By achieving those imperatives, Cal Poly will be growing and continue to grow excellence in all disciplines, in our national and international reputation. And here's the real key for you as well as our alumni. Your degree will continue to appreciate and gain value every year throughout your careers and your lives. Now, what do we want in return? I need you to promise to me and to promise to all the faculty and staff who have helped you along the way, to all the people in the room here that are supporting you, to simply do your best. Do your best and make us Cal Poly proud. You see, your degree comes with responsibilities. We're counting on you to share your experiences as a mentor to future Cal Poly students. Help them find internships. Urge your company to tap into Cal Poly's expertise. And be an advocate for Cal Poly among your friends and employers. We're also counting on you to give back, not if, but when success comes. Be generous. Show gratitude. Investing your time, talent, your treasures, yes, your resources, to improve the world and make people's lives better. And we also want you to support the institutions and those around you that have helped you along the way. And yes, that means Cal Poly. And that means we want you to come home often and see us. The people of California and all of the people in this room have invested greatly in your success to bring you to this day. We're counting on you to become engaged citizens that our nation and our communities need to sustain our democracy. We're counting on you to think creatively, to solve tough problems, to invent new things, to lead our nation's progress. We're counting on you to care more about others than yourselves. We're asking a lot. I know we're asking a lot, but you're ready because you're from Cal Poly. You know, learn by doing. You're not afraid of mistakes. Graduates, congratulations. Now, we have a couple of more learn by doing things, past the exam before you can walk out the door, but they're fun. First, I need each of you to stand up, take that Cal Poly Proud pin that you received from our alumni president, and pin your neighbor. Place that Cal Poly Proud pin on the graduate nearest you. So graduates and everyone else, let this pin be a reminder of what it means to be a Cal Poly graduate. You're now part of our 165,000 strong alumni community. And as I said before, I urge you to stay connected, stay involved, stay Cal Poly proud. See, there's still a little learn by doing going on here. Okay, graduates, one more important thing to do. To signify that you are graduates and members of the Cal Poly family, Move the tassel from the right to the left. Family members, faculty, staff, guests, I present to you the graduates of 2015. Go Mustangs!
Congratulations, graduates. Congratulations. Before we gather at the reception in the University Union Plaza, it is time to sing our alma mater. President Armstrong and the Platform Party will lead the recessional at the conclusion of the alma mater. Guests, we ask that you please remain seated until our graduates have exited. We also ask that all graduates please continue to move beyond the building to avoid congestion at the door and delays in meeting your party at the UU Plaza. And now, Mustang family, please locate your alma mater on page 4 of your program, and please join us in the singing of All Hail Green and Gold. Please rise for the alma mater.
Oh.